Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Ben. What's up, Ben? What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Jay?
Hey.
What's up, Scott?
Hello.
All right, so Chris, and there's Vaughn.
Hey, Vaughn.
Hey, Vaughn. What's up, Vaughn?
Hey, Vaughn.
All right. So, Chris, tell
Yes,
us, how was Godzilla Planet of Monsters, right? Whatever it is.
Before we get into that, we have to talk about something that was said about Godzilla 2 today.
Oh!
Which is probably some of the best news I've heard in a little while.
Yeah.
Do tell.
So O'Shea Jackson Jr., who is one of the cast members of Godzilla 2, was talking about some of the movies he's worked on and also I think some of the movies he's been working on. And one of the ones he was talking about obviously was Godzilla 2. And I have his quote here. And he had this quote. I don't know if this was a direct quote, but he said something along the lines of this. And this is very cool. So basically he said, and this is his quote, "The last scene with Godzilla and King Ghidorah. I mean, this is a scene you will not forget in your life."
Wow.
So that to me, I don't know, like he doesn't mention Mothra and Rodan.
Mm-hmm.
That means that the final scene or the final battle of this movie could potentially be Godzilla and Ghidorah just one-on-one.
That's great.
Sweet.
So that's exciting. I hope that that scene doesn't get cut or altered or anything like that, unless they make it better. But I really hope that whatever he's talking about stays in the movie and that we get to see what he's talking about, because that sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back to what we were going to talk about, I did see Godzilla Planet of the Monsters earlier today.
Okay.
And I've had some time to think about it. And I think it's good. It has some problems, but I definitely think it's a very good first attempt at like an animated Godzilla film.
Okay.
Was one of them your original concern where he seems to be overly powerful?
Well, I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
One thing I will say, and it's probably my favorite part of this movie, as weird as this may sound, and for those of you who have seen the movie, you're going to probably be thinking, why is this your favorite part of the movie?
Right.
But my favorite part of the movie actually was the very beginning. They show basically kind of the history leading up to what happens in the main plot of this movie. So basically, for those of you who don't know, and I'm not going to get into too many spoilers, but basically what happens is, the basic synopsis is that Godzilla has taken over the planet.
Right.
He's killed most of the population, and the remaining population has had to escape the Earth, literally get off the planet, just to keep the human race from becoming extinct.
Right.
So the interesting thing about this movie is that Godzilla is not the first kaiju to show up. The first kaiju, I believe, was Kamacuras, which is the giant praying mantis-like kaiju. And he shows up, I believe it was in Manhattan. And he causes a lot of destruction. And then from there, periodically, more kaiju start to show up. And so some of them are like Dagora, Orga, Dagara, Rodan, Anguirus. They show up. Now, we don't see a lot of these kaiju. They're basically just like flashbacks, like really quick images of them.
Okay.
And the beginning opens up with the main character, who was a child at the time all of this was happening on Earth. He's talking about these monsters showing up. And the best part is that there's a point where he's explaining this, and he just pauses. And he says, "And then Godzilla showed up."
Oh.
And apparently, a minor spoiler here, this doesn't really affect the rest of the movie.
Right.
But apparently, this Godzilla wiped out the entire west coast of the United States.
Wow.
Completely.
Damn.
Okay? It gets so bad that the entire planet, every government on the planet that has nuclear weapons says, we're going to fire all of them at him at once.
Wow.
And whatever happens, happens. And they do this. And he survives.
Oh,
Quite
course.
handily.
God.
Of course, he was
So-
created by nuclear energy.
But that's the thing. In this version, he actually wasn't.
Ah.
Oh.
In this version, apparently, he is the countermeasure that the Earth itself creates
Ah.
to deal with kaiju and humanity.
And he just takes over.
So he takes over the planet. Now, what's interesting too is
Okay.
what's interesting too is that during they call this like I think they called it the Kaiju War, but I'm not entirely sure. There were actually these aliens that come to Earth looking
Aliens.
for refuge. Yeah, there are aliens in this movie,
Oh.
and they come to Earth looking for refuge because their planets got destroyed and whatnot. And there's a very interesting thing that they say. One of the aliens, because the aliens they look like humans, so that like they're in the movie a lot. They come to Earth looking for refuge, and they're like, listen, our planet was destroyed. We came to Earth looking to kind of maybe see if we could live here with humanity. But they're like, but we didn't know that this was going on. Like,
Right.
that Godzilla is attacking. And they're like, so we'll help you take care of him. And in return, would you mind if we kind of became part of your population?
Yeah.
And so this is another little spoiler. They mention building Mechagodzilla at the very beginning of this movie.
Ah.
But for some reason, they can't get it to work.
Let's see.
And there's a great little flashback scene of the aliens and the humans working on Mechagodzilla together. And one of the technicians is like, Godzilla's getting closer. He's like right outside the door. We got to get this thing up and running right now, or we're all going to die.
Right.
And they're like, listen, screw the Mechagodzilla. We got to get out of here. We can't fight him. If we try to fight him, we're going to die anyway. So let's get the hell out of here.
Okay.
And that plan doesn't work because the next thing you see, Godzilla's atomic breath just wipes out the whole place.
But Mechagodzilla remains, right? Or no?
I think so, but it's badly damaged from what we've seen in this flashback anyway.
Okay.
So basically from there, they go into like the present day. Humanity is on this ship that escaped the Earth, and it's gotten so bad that the population is down to like thousands of people.
Oh, wow.
And literally, this was really morbid, and it's, again, not really a big spoiler, but it got to the point where they were actually shipping the elderly off the ship
Oh, wow.
just so they can save rations and whatnot.
Shit.
So, of course, they're all like, listen, or most of them are like, listen, we're not meant to live on this ship. It's just not, there's like, it's the conditions are terrible. There's not enough food. There's not enough water. The oxygen could go at any time. There's disease rampant in some of the ship parts. You know, the ship is taking damage from like meteoroids and whatnot. They're like, we got to go. We got to go back to Earth and just, even if we can just get supplies and then go back into the ship and leave, at least we'll have something. And of course they're all like, well, we can't go back to Earth because what if Godzilla's still there?
Right.
What do we do then? We're down to thousands of people. He can.
How many years
obliterate
were they
the
away in hypersleep? Sleep.
They thought they weren't in hypersleep. Actually, they thought they were away for about like based on the amount of time that they were traveling. Like they were traveling at light speed. They're like, well, the equivalent would be like 1,000 years that we were away from the Earth.
Okay.
And they're like, well, let's go back, and more time will have passed. So maybe Godzilla will just have died of old age.
And how many years is it actually that they're?
So when they get back to Earth, they arrive 20,000 years later.
Okay.
And they're like, well, listen, this isn't really a problem because there's no way Godzilla's lived for this long. And the environment's probably changed. The ecosystem is probably back to the way it was even before humanity. let's go down and see what's going on. And the environment, the environment has completely changed.
Yeah.
Based around Godzilla himself.
Right.
So they get there and they're like, yeah, this is great. Of course, Godzilla is still alive. And they're like, how the hell could he possibly have lived this long and not aged? Like, how does this work? And from there, it just goes, it's pretty crazy. You got to see.
Right.
I can say this. The end of this movie, if you don't know what happens, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it coming.
Okay.
It just, I knew what was going to happen, and even still, I was like, holy shit.
Wow. All right, I'm going to watch
That was
this after this cast, yeah.
My only issues with it were some of the characters were kind of bland. They're very anime archetype characters.
How long was it?
Especially the main character. It's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Now, my other two issues with it were, this is not really a movie. It's like episode 1 of a series.
Oh, shit.
So it's not bad.
Okay.
I would say that. The other thing is, and this is probably the big one for a lot of people, Godzilla's not in this movie a lot.
Oh, come on. What the?
He's in it throughout the movie, but he's not, like, he doesn't really do a lot until the last half hour or so.
Then why is it
pretty
called
much like the
Godzilla?
last movie where you just get glimpses and then finally when he shows, it's wham.
Because it's not called Godzilla, it's called Godzilla Monster Planet, right?
But this is the thing that I really did like about it.
Okay.
Anytime that Godzilla is not on screen, they're talking about him. And he's there.
Right.
He's there
in the back
kind of in spirit.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will say, and this really isn't too, these aren't really too spoilerish, because it's just really what Godzilla can do, and they showed basically everything he can do in the trailers. So if you don't want to hear this, stop watching now. This Godzilla, like Scott was saying, is OP as hell. Not only can he regenerate like the other Godzillas could, this Godzilla can regenerate in seconds.
Wow.
So if he gets damaged, they even make a point to say this. They're like, yeah, if we injure him, like, critically, we're going to have a few seconds to capitalize on that because he can regenerate in like a couple of seconds.
Wow.
And then there's the big one. This Godzilla's atomic breath is not just atomic breath. It's like a damn force field that surrounds his body, and he can make it fire from any point in his body.
Wow.
And not only that, it's like, we've seen Godzilla with a like powerful atomic breath before. This one is like maximum level because it just obliterates everything that it hits.
Everything.
Like, this is the one movie where they're like, we got to avoid the atomic breath. We've got to avoid the atomic breath. If you use the atomic breath, we're all going to die.
Right.
So, I mean, it's, and thankfully,
takes
it doesn't
out
come out of his nose.
vegetation, takes out everything.
Everything. And thankfully, it doesn't come out of his nose like that poster was saying. It does come out of his mouth or wherever else he wants it to come out of.
Okay.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it.
What do you rate it?
I would say I would give it a 7.5 out of 10.
All right.
There's a couple of things that I would have changed. Really, what I honestly, I would have liked to see, like, when he first shows up in this universe and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because that stuff sounded amazing.
Probably would have been a nice prequel movie or something.
Yeah. Someone was actually another Godzilla channel actually made a good point, and they were like, instead of 3 parts, they wanted it to be 4, where the first part was what happened before this movie, then the second part would be this one, and then the third one would be the next one with Mechagodzilla, and then the fourth one would be whatever it is.
Right.
But I definitely think we're going to be seeing Ghidorah in this universe.
Now, we get it now on Netflix. When does the second one come out? A year from now?
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay. They haven't announced that. I don't. I think they might have announced a release date, but I'm not entirely sure.
It's one every year, supposedly, right?
We're getting 2 this year.
Apparently. We're getting another one this year.
We're getting 2 parts.
This is coming on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not
So the
going
second
theaters.
part, no,
No.
this is animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second part is gonna be this year.
Apparently,
Wow.
the next two parts, 2 and 3, are going to be this
This
year.
year?
Apparently so. Yes.
So the whole thing is this
Yes.
year.
I think they have to do it that way because Godzilla 2 comes out next year.
Yes, that's
So-
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a question
Okay.
for Chris. When
Yeah.
you said that when he does his atomic breath, that the force field comes on. Remember in the old Godzilla movies, his spines glowed before his atomic breath. Is that kind of like a force field or something?
His spines still glow, kind of, but like okay, so like his spines will glow, and then like the energy will shoot out around like a dome almost around his body, and then he fires it like out of his mouth.
Oh, okay.
So it's really creative.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So is it like Shin Gojira? Like where he shoots in all different directions? Or
No, not like that. So basically, like, the energy doesn't come like out of a part of his body. It just like, so like, let's say he wanted, and there's a scene like this in the movie. There's this like mecha tank that comes up on his left side and starts shooting him, right? And he looks over, and then instead of the atomic breath coming out of his mouth, he moves his hand. The energy shoots out of the left side of his body, but it's like a few feet outside of his body. So it doesn't come out of like his side. It comes out of like the air around him, and then it shoots out. But he can still fire it from his mouth as well.
I'm looking at my Netflix front page now. That's what they've got.
Yeah,
is Godzilla as the front page of the home screen.
And I'll say this too, right? The whole thing that he's part plant and whatnot, they actually downplay it in the movie.
That's
they're
good.
like, we don't know if he's flora or fauna. He's just like this weird like genetic aberration that we just don't know. We just don't understand it.
Right.
And it's a really I thought it was a really interesting take on like what would happen if he took over the planet. And like I was saying before, I definitely think we're going to be seeing alien kaiju, because we don't know if Orga was an alien or Dagora, if they were aliens. But something that one of the alien characters say is like, and this is a minor spoiler, but it doesn't really ruin anything in the movie, but he's talking to the main character and he's like, you know, my species was traveling around the universe before you guys left the Earth. And he said, I've seen other civilizations get destroyed by monsters like this.
Wow, so there's more monsters up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's a minor
Gigan and
spoiler.
all that stuff we might have?
I think we're going to see Ghidorah, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's great.
I think it's going to be this weird... I think what they're trying to say with these movies or with this version of Godzilla is that monsters like this are like a natural occurrence throughout the universe.
Right, like
and it's almost like a response to like planets getting overpopulated and whatnot. I'm assuming that's what they're trying to say.
Nature always has a way of correcting what man does.
Yeah. Well, and there is an after credits scene. So don't shut the movie off before.
So the only kaiju that are aliens are Gigan, right? Because he's a bounty hunter, right?
Well, Gigan, Ghidorah,
and Ghidorah. That's it, right?
Mechagodzilla technically was an alien,
right? And then the
Hedorah.
What, the smog monster?
Yeah.
And what about I guess in Final Wars, what is that, Monster X or something? What the hell is that?
Well, yeah, that's a different series altogether, though, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, Orga was an alien also, right?
Orga was an alien, yep.
It's about 5 or more. Who knows?
So, yeah, basically.
What about Megalon? Megalon wasn't an alien, right?
Megalon was supposed to be an alien, but then they turned him into like a Hollow Earth monster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he teamed up with Gigan, yeah. And Titanosaurus was just Earth.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So is Mothra in the next Godzilla movie?
Well, she's in Godzilla 2, but that's not what this is. This is a different series.
We're talking about the animated. Yeah.
This is an animated thing. Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
oh,
yes.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I got you now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. So, besides Godzilla, what other earth-shattering news, like big things, happened besides that? We know about the Venom thing, right?
Yes.
Now, could you clarify that? I mean, what does it mean, just Peter Parker?
Allegedly, they're saying that Tom Holland was apparently filming, or at least on set, for this Venom movie for like 2 days or so. And I'm
Right.
hearing now that he's going to be in this movie in some capacity as just Peter Parker.
More than a cameo.
I really don't know.
Is the symbiote gonna bond with him first for like seconds or minutes or something?
I don't know. But I'm gonna say this though.
Okay.
If he shows up, there's no denying that this is connected to the MCU somehow.
That's true. Technically.
Which means Pascal was telling the truth the whole time.
Unless they changed it after,
Possibly, yeah.
which we'll find out, obviously. But you got to think of it this way, right? The MCU, like, they got a deal, they got Spider-Man, and yes, Sony be making most of the money, but Sony wants something in return, so they want Tom Holland, probably.
Basically, yeah.
And why wouldn't Disney say okay with it? Because basically they could tell Disney, no, you're not doing Spider-Man anymore. They don't want that. In fact, Phase 4, didn't they say that Spider-Man has a big part of that?
I mean, they said he was going to be like one of the more important characters, yeah.
And that's after the deal. So supposedly there might have been a new deal constructed we don't know about. Past the deal, obviously. Because, I mean, this next Spider-Man movie is part of the new phase?
Homecoming 2, I think, is, yeah.
Okay. So we'll have to see. But
I wonder if maybe they're like, maybe Disney knows what they're doing with this Venom movie and they have more faith in it. Maybe that's why they're like,
they're playing it off like, oh my God, we're shocked and different things, right? Still like a ruse.
Possibly. I'm telling you right now, I actually think this Venom movie, which is supposed to come out this year,
right.
I actually think it's probably going to be better than a lot of people think. I don't know why I feel that way, but
right.
I don't know.
Might be. But what about Silver and Black? That's going to suck, though, right? Or no?
I don't know.
Be good.
I haven't heard anything about that past what we already reported.
That just sounds like one of those that needs to be on one of the streaming services like Netflix or something, because it's just.
I mean, unless Disney is really helping that we don't know about, and it's like they want them to be successful so they can continue the deal. I mean, it's quite possible that may occur. It might shock everybody. So now, in the timeline, right, Venom happens after the Infinity War Part 1?
I would assume so.
I mean, it's going to be Infinity War, Venom, and then Infinity War 2, right?
What
I
hope they don't say, like, this happens before Civil War or something.
Oh, yeah, that would suck.
Because that would mean that, like, did he get the symbiote beforehand? Like, that'd be weird.
Like a tie-in where he's fighting Thanos, he gets his suit ripped. Then in Venom, he gets the symbiote, but then they show, like, he went away with it and then came back.
It's possible, but I personally, I would like to see that play out in a movie. Like,
I mean, they could have it play out in Avengers 4, but they could have it just him go away with the suit, and then they could say a year later or something, or 6 months later. And then he comes back with the suit.
What would be a really nice twist? What if that was like the after credit scene of the fourth Avengers?
True.
Or third Avengers.
Or third Avengers.
Yeah, or fourth, whatever. I mean, yeah.
I'm thinking the fourth one though. Actually, I would say the.
Well, if he fights Thanos, well, here's the thing: there's 3, and then there's Venom, so he would have to be at the end of 3.
Yeah, I mean, they could do that, or they could just do like a weird time skipped one or something like that.
I mean, if they could have the beginning of Venom, he gets the symbiote, and just like Homecoming, it's like 8 years later, but instead of 8 years later, it's like months later, where he's ripping it off, he dumps it, and then the suit feels abandoned, the symbiote, and just bonds with Eddie Brock. but then has all the look of Spider-Man twisted, you know, like with the shooting webs and all that stuff. It would make sense if they did it that way.
Unless they're going the route, because we don't know if Venom is an alien in this movie. So, I mean, unless they're going the route that they're trying to.
Oh, he's an alien. Oh, he's an
Well, I
alien.
mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like, we don't.
Oh, they're not going to have him created in the lab. No.
Well, they're doing a lot of stuff with the Ultimate Universe, and that's what happened in the Ultimate Universe.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know if maybe someone's trying to clone Spider-Man or replicate his powers, and this is what they come up with.
That's
or...
supposed to be another Spider-Man. They're supposed to do a Spider-Man movie with the Clone Saga. Like the Jackal and Skull Spot. That's not for a while, though. I've heard they're going to do that, but not now. I mean, Gwen Stacy's supposed to be in the next Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not... It's probably going to be like Green Goblin or whatever. It's not going to be, you know... Maybe it's not even going to be Green Goblin. It's just going to have her appear.
Why hasn't Dr. Doom been on a Spider-Man movie yet?
Because Dr. Doom is...
Yeah,
He was always in the comic book and cartoon.
Dr. Doom is different. Dr. Doom is owned by... Well, was owned by 20th Century Fox. The movie rights. Marvel does own Dr. Doom and Fantastic Four, but the movie rights, Fox had it. And now they bought it back, but we're not going to be able to see it till after 2 years, basically. So Fox has it, not Disney.
Cartoon-wise, we can see Doom anytime.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you, Chris. What's this thing that Fox wants to do an alien video game?
Oh yeah, I heard it was going to be like some sort of like first-person shooter or something like that.
I don't. Here's the thing: are they rushing out games because they know they're losing the license?
No, I don't. I don't think they're rushing anything. To be honest with you, I think they still have some control over what they can do, and
until Disney
this
gets
isn't
it.
the plan.
Until Disney gets it. Once Disney gets it, they can't make video games.
Well, we don't know. We don't know the ins and outs of this deal because there's some things that Disney gets and some things that they don't get.
Yeah, they don't get their news half. They just get their
exactly.
No, but they're not going to share Alien with Fox. Like, I mean, if they get the movie rights, they're going to have the video game rights as well. It's not going to be
necessarily.
Really.
Yeah, not necessarily.
And the toy rights. Who the hell's going to have the toy rights to make that?
I still think NECA is going to be able to do that.
All right.
I think anyway. I don't know.
Unless Marvel wants to produce it, and make their own figures of aliens.
It's possible, but NECA does such a great job with both Alien and Predator that I think it would be a shame to get rid of that.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. That would probably hurt NECA a lot.
Yeah.
If they did that.
Ben, did you want to say anything? Did you have anything to talk about? Can't hear you, bro. Muted. Can't hear you. Did you want to talk about anything, Ben? Can't hear you. All right, he's muted. I don't know why. Vaughn, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, stupid schmoogle.
That's right. Did you want to?
It decided to mute you.
Did you want to talk about?
We got the season 2 trailer for Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yes, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Shenanigans is gonna ensue.
It looks really good, actually. Really good.
The fact that he messed up his own daughter's name.
Yeah, looks like.
I think this is going to be the best season yet. I mean, it looks like there's more story behind it than just gore.
And it looks like Ash is going to fight a Deadite in a sperm bank.
Yes, that's what I love too. Because you see over a thing of smooth.
It's connected to Army of Darkness, which they mentioned already, but like maybe there might be some time travel going on or something. Maybe it might be a cliffhanger or something at the end of the season. Because it looks like probably the last episode they're going to fight that big creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a time travel thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a trip back to the past would be interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they're doing something with Pablo to make him where he can't die or super strong.
Yeah,
you know, Kelly gets possessed again.
Yep.
Kelly gets possessed again.
Yep.
And Ruby gets like killed, but then comes back and killed, and something like that. I don't know. So it looks like a good Ash versus Evil Dead.
And the other thing
Now-
is,
Got the
Yeah.
Tomb Raider, which I'm still not overly impressed with.
I think it looks better than what did.
It's better than the
What about
first
you, Vaughn?
trailer, but still, it's too video game still.
Vaughn, you don't like it?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like.
I've got to watch the movie, but
Hold on, let Vaughn talk.
I don't,
Yeah, Vaughn.
I don't like this. Pretty much. I don't know. I like the video game better, and I
Right.
don't like that they didn't go with the actors from the video game. So
You don't like the
I
actress they
don't like
chose?
the actors. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not too thrilled about it. I mean, I will watch it, but yeah, I'm not thrilled. Like, they do
All right.
it-
So yeah, all right. So I got one other thing I wanted to talk about too. Chris, maybe you can help me with this. Did everybody see that Norman Reedus basically said it's bullshit with Call? Like he's not happy about it at all. Still,
Yeah, he's,
I mean,
he's pretty upriled about it.
yeah. So this is what is the problem. Okay. If for the actor to vocally just come out and not play like the part of the good old actor, yes, yeah, you know, Walking Dead's great, this season's great, isn't it? He's not happy. And neither is Andrew Lincoln. All right. I understand that, you know, there may be deals signed or whatever, or maybe not. So again, they're voicing their opinion that they're not happy. You know, maybe it's a thing that Gimple felt he had to leave to get this promotion or take it because he doesn't want to deal with that on a regular basis. You know, obviously, a lot of people are not, they don't want to stick around and see when Carl dies. They just don't accept it. They don't want to see Rick go through this. Nobody wants to see Rick suffer for like years and bullshit like that, like the Negan thing when he's on his knees and crying and this. You can only do so many times where your hero is suffering like this, or the whole group that you love is suffering like this. You can't keep doing this every other year, okay? Carl is somebody that...
They do this for sort of like their sweeps week. That's what it's starting to feel
But
like.
Carl is somebody you don't kill. Like with Rick. Like, basically, people want to see these characters to the end. Some people got to last to the end. And you don't want people that are not, like, nobody's living to the end. And Rick being dead, Carol being dead, Daryl being dead, Maggie being dead. You want to see the last season of Walking Dead with Rosita and Eugene? No, of course not. You know, like, it's boring.
You see somebody close a book after.
No, but it's got to be, listen, it's got to be somebody that's one of the originals. You know, and yes, I get it that, you know, Rick is probably not going to die now at all to the end or whatever, but Carl should have been, I mean, now you're straying way. I understand we wanted to have something that would stray from the comics a little bit, but not like to these leaps and bounds like this. You know. So, what do you think, Chris? I mean,
Well, I don't understand the move of killing Carl just yet. I mean, I have to wait and see the rest of the season to see where this goes before I can say anything definitive about my opinion. But as of right now, I don't understand it. I don't really understand why they're choosing to kill him off when I think there's other characters that they could kill off. And
definitely.
it would still have an impact. Maybe not as big of an impact, but it would still have an impact. And at what point, and this is my thing, like, at what point does Rick just give up?
But that's what I'm
and
saying.
Just say, you know, because this is my thing, right?
Right.
Carl dies, then let's say down the line Judith and Michonne die.
What's the purpose, though?
Why does he carry on?
Right.
Like I know the argument's going to be, well, he's there for the group. Listen,
yeah, but that's not.
The group is benefiting from the fact that his kids are part of their group.
Right.
That's what Rick is protecting them before anybody else. Okay.
Right.
So, if they die, why does Rick carry on? That's what I'm saying.
And I don't even want to see him carry on.
This is my theory on this. It's that because of all this shit that Rick is doing, he's gonna start doing self-destructive stuff just because he can't handle it no more. He's gonna be a risk. Either he's gonna kill himself or he's gonna get other people to turn on him and kill him. That's how they're gonna work. He's not gonna be no one's hero. He's not gonna be saving people anymore. He's just gonna have this defeatist attitude. He's gonna go somewhere and try to get infected, or he's gonna be self-destructive towards the group.
That's not gonna be good.
It's not gonna be good for anyone. So I think there's a
This is a jump in the shark moment.
yeah, it is. It's a weak ass moment because the writers don't have any other creativity
Well,
out.
Gimple did it. Gimple did it. He's the one that implemented this. So why can't we just? This is what I'm saying. Wouldn't it be better to just wipe the damn half season?
I think so.
I mean, in this one moment, we're not going to do it all the time. We're not going to do it if every time somebody dies, you riot. But this is the one time it's warranted to do it. Forget about whatever episodes we're going to see.
Absolutely.
Start from a jumping on point, and it never happens.
There's no shame in that.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I have to disagree with that, though. I really do. Because this is the thing. If they do that, it still becomes it's still a mark on the show. They shouldn't have done this in the first place.
Right.
That's the only way to get rid of this, is that it shouldn't have been done at all. It's too late now. The season is filmed. AMC is not going to let them go back and reshoot the whole thing.
They don't have to reshoot it. They could just have season 9 start off and it just wipes it.
What I suggested.
I don't know. I have to see what they do first.
The whole season was a dream.
Well,
I wouldn't go the Dallas route, but what I suggested was maybe just from maybe one or two people's point of view. They thought he had gotten killed, and somehow he got injured. Maybe not from a walker, but nonetheless, somehow he got injured, and he was just off healing, and then he comes back.
You would have to start it from when Rick is in the sanitation people's captive, like he's just delirious, dehydrated,
that's just it. You do it in such a way as there's somebody there.
It has to be. It's Rick in. No. It's Rick. No. It's not anybody else in it. Wait. It's not anybody else in the sanitation thing. Rick was captured.
Yeah, but the problem with that is other people saw that Carl was bit. So now it would have to be like a mass delusion kind of thing. Now you're pushing on really stupid territory.
Well, first of all, what is the purpose of killing him? For what? To unite Negan with them?
I really think that's what's gonna. I think that's why they did it, because Negan and Carl were starting to form that bond, kind of like they have.
Negan almost killed him if it wasn't for the tiger.
Right, but when he hears about how he died, I think that's the route they're gonna. Either that, or they're just gonna kill Negan off.
I think Negan's gonna die off right away.
Which I think is a very stupid move, but I mean.
Listen, they got so much. I think they're gonna speed right into what's happening in the comics, because I think maybe they want to end the comics too. It's been going on for a long time. I mean, maybe it's only a couple seasons left, not like they said 15 seasons, maybe 2 more and we're done.
This is also a reason why I was kind of like, they shouldn't have had Rick say that he knows Judith isn't his. They should have left that ambiguous, because now Rick doesn't have any kids. So
well, I mean, that is his kid. I mean, he's raising the kid.
Yes,
I mean, just because the kid's adopted in a sense. I mean, it is his. That doesn't. No, I know what you're saying. So we got that Walking Dead problem.
Oh, that's what y'all were talking about. Okay.
We've been saying Walking Dead a million times. What do you think we're talking about?
I didn't hear Walking Dead. I just heard Dead. I didn't hear Walking Dead. Sorry.
And then there's Into the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Names.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up Morgan leaving.
Oh, well, I mean, I know. All right, you want to talk about Morgan? We can talk about Morgan.
No.
Why the frig is he leaving?
I thought that's because you said we've got that Walking Dead problem, and I thought you were
Oh
going to.
yeah, right. So now we have Fear of the Walking Dead problem. Why the hell is Morgan just walking away from the group while they're in the middle of a war? That's a problem, which makes no sense. But who made that happen? Gimple. So you know what? Why is he leaving? Explain
Incompetence.
it. Yeah.
Incompetence is the root of all evil.
He shouldn't be leaving, period.
I want to know, like, is he gonna like instant transmission his way over to the other side of the country? Like,
is he gonna jump in a helicopter and something's gonna happen? And he's gonna fly to the other side.
My question is Fear of the Walking Dead is now parallel to Walking Dead now? Is that what's happening?
In other words, the way they worked it, because Walking Dead, Maggie's been pregnant for 4 years, but not really 4 years.
Yes.
4 years.
It's the season is like what, Chris? A week or two?
I just want to say hashtag mutant Maggie. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Billy. She's still pregnant, and we're going into season 9. Okay,
why has she not had the baby yet? My God.
Okay.
This is like Days of Our Lives or something, where the woman is pregnant for 5 years.
Is she trying to be like oh God, what's that woman name on Family Guy that's been
she
pregnant?
Was when she had pain. Remember that? She was in the sewer like, oh, I can't do certain things.
But realistically, it has only been a short amount of time.
It's been a couple of months.
Not even, because she would be showing by now.
Right, and Fear of the Walking Dead's been jumping like months and years, and so they're already caught up. That's what I've been saying in the first.
Okay.
Yeah, because from season 1 to season 2, they went like 8 months, and then it was like another year, and then another year. So yeah, they're caught up.
So maybe next year we come to her and she has the baby, but it's 4 years old. She's gonna have the
baby.
She's already it's probably 9 years old.
Carl's gonna die, but then the baby's gonna be born. Carl's gonna die, but the baby's gonna be born. That's gonna be like the thing of hope and shit like that. And oh my God! And
oh my God! Is this baby gonna be the replacement for Carl? That would be so wrong.
That baby's gonna be like
so wrong.
It's gonna turn out that Rick and Maggie had something on the side, and that's not Glenn's baby.
Is it gonna be the Star Child? Is it gonna be a Miracle Child like on V?
Yeah, right. Remember that?
And for more psychological torture, they're gonna name the kid Shane.
Oh,
why don't they just make it that Rick and Carl are immune to the virus? That's the best way to explain it.
Because it's not even a virus at this point.
Whatever it is. They're not infected.
No, like Last of Us. So another group is going to be after them to get the vaccine.
Right. And Carl was just like, hey, so I was supposed to be dead like 5 weeks ago, and what happened? Maybe. They tried to do that in Fear the Walking Dead. They tried to do that. And they tried to, but the guy lied.
Why do Last of Us have a better storyline than Walking Dead now?
Because Scott Gimple don't know how to write, but whatever.
What if the woman gets infected and she has?
They're all infected.
And
they're all infected.
Okay, the baby is born and she's the miracle of the baby. She has the immunity.
That's be. She could be immune to the not infected. Right. I mean that's maybe.
Now that she has immunity and they
I
the virus.
Still say to this day that Rick being in the hospital all those weeks, that the government was pumping him with tests where he's immune to the virus. I still say it.
Yeah, I think that has to be the reason. He survived a lot of stuff.
He got cut. He got this. He didn't turn. I honestly, no. I think he's immune, Rick. He's gonna find that out. And then he's going to be like, oh, I could have saved Carl with my blood or some crap like that. And be like, oh.
No, but Carl should be immune too because that's passed on.
Well,
right?
No, but what was they doing? What they doing him in the hospital? They probably pumping him through drugs and all kinds of stuff to make it where he's cured. Who knows?
Making him a mutant.
I don't know.
See, if he's a mutant, he passed it on to Maggie when they had their thing on the side.
Could Maggie just deliver the baby, please, and let's get on with it?
No, because then
Rick is the new Wolverine.
she was like 5 years younger when she was pregnant. Do you realize this?
Yes, she was.
This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I don't
It
think
will
they
go
count
down
for
in history.
aging.
It will go down in history as a person who's been pregnant for 5 freaking seasons.
You know why this doesn't work? Because she ages each time. So
Yeah.
it would not work.
Mhm.
This is not like Maggie or Bart or the girl from Family Guy who was pregnant for the same amount of years.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I
that
know,
doesn't work. Only in animation this works, not in real life, because the actress ages. She
Yeah.
can't stop her age.
No,
Lost.
man.
That's why they had to get rid of the kid, because by the time the show would have ended, he would have been a teenager.
Jesus, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And stop explaining. Oh, it's been a week this season.
No.
Season this has been 2 weeks. No, man, just get this shit done already.
Well, I mean,
First of all,
The baby out.
nobody does that in a week.
Explain
Nobody
everything
has a
about
war.
Carl and boom, boom, boom.
But hold on a second. Nobody has a friggin' war in a span of 2 weeks.
well, it could
Nope.
be worse. I mean, like it's not like gone to Dragon Ball Super levels
Oh
where every
my
episode
God,
is
yes.
a minute.
Yes.
And it's been like 45 minutes. And yet there's
Exactly.
still like one episode.
Exactly. It can be to that extreme. That is
They have
crazy.
like a high speed battle, and then at the end of the show, it's like it's been 1 minute. What do you mean it's been 1
Exactly.
minute? What?
Yeah, 24. It's
Good
a show
Lord.
of 24.
I'm excited because they finna start Trunks. Future
It's
Trunks
his fault. He
series.
messed up the timeline.
Yeah,
are
I
we
know, right?
gonna lead into the Spider-Verse now?
Sure, why not?
Right.
Another bullshit thing.
Oh,
Batman Beyond takeoff or whatever the hell they're gonna do.
I saw that. I forget.
Oh, I
it was
would
during
love to see that in a movie.
trailer. I'm still not impressed.
So an inexperienced Spider-Man like Miles Morales is going to lead an interdimensional alternate reality band of Spider-Men. Again, inexperienced Spider-Man, Miles
Who
Morales.
may not actually be from other dimensions anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but remember in the trailer?
What?
There was like
alternate
the
reality?
spiders were roaming the city.
Oh, yeah, they're in fact. Oh, that's right. So they're not going to be time traveling. Alternate.
Yeah, it's worse because now we're gonna have the worst of humanity could possibly get bitten by these spiders and then
Right.
get Spider-Man's powers.
Right. Like that weird.
Let's see the
Lord.
police try to stop them.
Oh God.
It's just getting crazy. I love it.
And you know what the worst is?
A cartoon.
I still don't understand it, but the Ultimate Universe is back in the comics, and Peter Parker's alive, which I don't get it.
I
And
thought-
I don't know what just happened.
Rebooting Marvel Universe, huh?
No, not the Marvel Universe, the Ultimate Universe. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't get it, man. But this is Chris. In case you didn't know, I told you this already. Maybe
What's up?
the Marvel Universe has been altered, and now Voyager is the original Avenger. She's always been there with the original team, right
That's
on the
right.
bottom.
Everybody forgot that she was there, right?
Right,
Yeah.
sure,
Such a
yeah,
forgettable character.
right. And they even put a poster out that they were giving out where they did like a classic poster, and
you
she's
can
in the
tell
poster.
she's photoshopped in, and that's the sad thing.
I mean, she's in the poster. It's
That's
You know.
hilarious. Actually, I mean, it's great.
I mean, it's a Doctor Who storyline, by the way, that they took from the Earth is stolen.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. The
Really?
Earth is stolen, and only instead of Doctor Who, the Doctors, the Avengers that gotta like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they were like, there she is, Loki, and she's okay, right. And then,
Come on, Disney, buy Doctor Who.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
gonna
right?
happen. It's gonna happen. I
Yeah, but,
predict.
Oh,
I predict.
and this was, we found this out from a fan of ours that leaked Amazon UK. Supposedly, it's not a deal with the devil. Norman Osborn gets the Carnage symbiote and becomes the Red Goblin.
What?
That actually sounds kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. That
We got the
So
green.
we're gonna wait and
top,
see
we got
first.
the red.
And Mephisto is going after Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, because his soul is so screwed up from dying 26 times that
God.
Mephisto is trying to take it easy pickings. Yeah. And Mephisto's also messing with Doctor Strange and everybody instead of Spider-Man. Which is all right. Well, we're gonna wait.
That's one character I couldn't get into was Doctor Strange.
And the wedding is not Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. It's Kitty Pryde and Colossus.
Oh, I want to throw
Kitty
something.
Pryde all of a sudden.
What?
Why is she so popular now?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Got a movie.
She was very popular for a little while back in the day. Then she wasn't popular for a long time, and now all of a sudden it's like Kitty Pryde the movie,
SJW,
Lockheed the toy. Her husband is Colossus. Wait, Colossus's sister is the demon slayer, or Liliana Rasputin, the Dark Child, and what?
Oh, Liliana Rasputin.
The Mad Monk.
I love Colossus in Deadpool. He was funny.
Yeah, but he's stupid in Deadpool, and he's smart, and everything else.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
I just love it when Deadpool hit him, and he says, "Your poor wife."
I want to see like Mickey Mouse beat the crap out of Deadpool.
Richard from this asshole. It's gonna happen.
Oh no! Something's gonna happen. You know it.
Goofy is the new Deadpool.
Oh man, Goofy.
What if Disney did buy Doctor Who? Would it be? Do you think that they would bring it back?
Johnny Depp would be cast the next minute. Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably Robert Downey Jr. because he's a doctor.
And Tim Burton would be manning it too.
Robert Downey Jr. would be the doctor.
You get some American actors then. Oh, watch.
Robert Downey Jr. showed up at the award show, which
it would be a bad show, huh?
No, I mean, here's the thing. What happened? We had
have a female doctor. That's what would happen.
Patrick Stewart as the doctor.
But see, here's the thing. We had the ball in our court, but because we couldn't handle it at the time, and it's because going through so many people. I mean, Fox had rights to that show. And they dropped it because they couldn't. Because the night that it aired, it was preempted. I remember that.
Yeah.
And that's what killed it. Fox had it and couldn't do. Disney, on the other hand, will have it marketable. Will have a theme park developed for it.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? Wait. It wasn't preempted.
Yes, it was preempted. That night that it came on. Oh, it was the first time it came on. The very first time that movie.
Probably football game on.
I remember.
I remember it being preempted.
Not here.
It went up against like the series finale of Roseanne too.
Yep. Again, had the heart attack.
That killed it apparently.
But it was also preempted because it was supposed to be on at a different time. That was not the night it was supposed to be on. They moved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was preempted. I remember that. I remember that specifically.
By a football game?
I don't know what it was. I think it was a best baseball game or something. It didn't come on, and then they moved it back. They moved it to a different night, and then it went up against.
I have the newspaper article that I saved back in the day.
Well,
if it was Fox, then and it was preempted.
No, it was Fox.
It was
Fox. Fox it was on Channel 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it was on Fox, then if it was preempted, then it has to be either a award show, which they hardly ever have, or a football event, or
maybe thought it was just in your area that it was preempted. No, because I taped it.
Maybe, but I remember. I
taped it the night it was supposed to be advertised, and I had no preempting over here. And Scott did choose by certain areas they mixed up the schedule or something.
Probably did because I remember it didn't come on that night. It was
don't forget they always aired things differently in the past.
That's true.
It wasn't the same everywhere simultaneously.
You know what's interesting?
So you know what's
interesting about that is I have that movie on DVD, and on there there's a special about how they were talking about making a series for the Eighth Doctor, but it wasn't like, apparently it wasn't going to be about the Eighth Doctor and them. It was going to be about like a younger Doctor traveling with his father.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I remember like in the original script that he like I like kind of what they said in the script where for the screen test for McGann, they had revealed that he was trying to find his brother or something like that.
There was
It was a way better script than that, than what I heard.
This was supposed to start off 3 or 4 films, if I remember right.
Always goes back to Doctor Who.
Yeah. And there was a whole thing about how he was for his father, why he was actually stated the whole thing of half human. Blah, blah, blah.
That's
it was either that was what was like led in, like it was like that became the movie based on the script, so that's what they were going to do after the movie. But I remember they said like his father's name was like Ulysses or something like that.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. That's what they said on that this little thing I read. Right.
Well, I have jumped a whole doctor after Mary Jane left.
Sarah Jane.
Sorry. I'm still thinking of Spider-Man. Sarah Jane left Jungle Woman, and I don't like him.
I love Leela.
I just left it. I didn't like it. So
you like her.
I'm into the next Doctor.
She's awesome. So you went straight to fifth?
Yeah. I just
you got it.
One time Leela was the one that brought all the dads to Doctor Who.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, say hello to Adric, because you're gonna really like him.
God.
Adric and Adric
Especially
accessories.
when he threw up in the forest.
Exactly.
That Doctor drags like an MF.
The stories are slow and kind of silly too.
I don't want to get this. I don't want to like go too deep with Doctor Who things. We have a show for that. But
okay, I got some.
Let's try to stick it with everything show. I mean, we could talk about.
Well, it is everything.
It is. That's why
he wants to stay within what the show is.
Because you know what it is when people want to watch Doctor Who, and they're like, "Well, did you catch the everything show?" Be like, "Well, Doctor Who's not supposed to be on the everything show." And it's like, "All right," and then you have to put it in the title. It's a whole thing. So yeah, let's just stick with.
We got the press
everything else other than Doctor Who.
Okay, did anybody see the Madam Secretary?
Nope.
No, didn't see that.
Oh my God, you are missing a great show.
I was working, dude.
The last episode, best out of the entire series.
Wow. I had to work.
On the entire world.
Gifted that were quite good.
The president was going to nuke the entire world. They came together, the entire cabinet, and they were going to vote the Section 4 of the 25th Amendment and get and oust him. It was great.
Wow.
It was great.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on with X-Files, Dawn? I haven't been watching.
I haven't watched the last episode, so I would not know.
That shit, huh?
No, I forgot that it comes on at 7. And
I gotta say, Supergirl wasn't anything to cry home about.
What? I loved it.
It was good. It was good, but it wasn't great. I mean,
I loved to finally see Brainiac 5.
Yeah, he was funny. He was cool, but I rather
the hair could have been a little bit different.
Yeah, but my thing is like
you could have skipped both Flash and Supergirl and just watch Black
honestly, I have been on Assassin's Creed Origin kick, so I've been playing that, and then I've been playing Mafia 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, Brainiac 5 and Supergirl is supposed to be a love interest.
No.
Yeah.
What? No.
In Justice League Unlimited, they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
What's that noise?
I don't know.
Not me.
Somebody honking.
Not me.
No, there you go. So we got the press release for Justice League, the home video release of the movie, and we are getting some deleted scenes.
One deleted scene, right?
Oh.
It's the Return of Superman. It's going to show parts that happened.
The one deleted scene is going to be where the movie was actually good.
They should leave him with the mustache on. You should be able to see him with the mustache on.
And again, for those in the back, there is no Snyder Cut. Stop protesting about it.
Yeah, there's no Snyder Cut. How could there be? They got somebody else to take over. That's stupid. All right, we're gonna get out of here. So stick around off air, everybody. All right, take care. Bye for now.
Bye.